Shalom, shalom. Following Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. Sometimes in homesteading, you have to improvise. You have to be able to use some skill. Right here is a table full of tools that I've either repaired or am making for what I need. For instance, out here in these local country stores, you'll find, they'll sell things like this. I bought this for $1. As you can see, this is some heavy duty metal. Heavy duty steel. Real thick. Problem is, it had no handle. So they're selling them. A lot of these stores will get things in bulk from manufacturers at an extremely reduced rate, and they'll sell you the piece as itself. Just the head of this thing right here. So what I did is I had an old tent pole, and I saved all my metal. All I did was shove that in there, use some of that cement putty with a piece of wood, jammed it in there, and I bought probably 10 of these heads and made each one into a tool that I or the sisters can use here on the homestead. Here's an old shovel that was split. Someone was getting rid of it. Handle broke right there. I just shoved an extra piece of PVC that I had laying around for one of my projects down the shaft, screwed it in, and then angle grinded the tips off, and I have a fully functioning shovel. I bought some electrical conduit, and this is one of my children's little toys that they had, and they had broken the wooden handles off. I just shoved a piece of conduit into the head, did a little bit of messy tack welding. Hey, I just wanted it to hold. I wasn't looking for it to be professional grade. Just did some tack welding. It works. I'm about to do the same thing with this shovel. The wooden handle broke, of course. I'm gonna pull this piece out, put a piece of conduit in there, drill the hole back through, put another screw back in, and with the conduit, all I use is my metal cutter. I cut the conduit to the size handle that I need, which is exactly what I did with this tool right here. Cut the conduit to the size that I need. And then here's a little shovel the children had, a little play shovel. Did the same thing. Shoved a piece of tent peg through it, or a tent pole through it. Did some messy tack welding. Again, these are my outdoor tools. I'm not really looking for beauty. I'm looking for function. I'm looking for it to function. Whenever the sisters do some planting, they'll use these tools, to make the rows in the soil or whatever. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'll be repairing that or making this one into it. It's not hard to improvise. It is not hard to use your imagination to get things done. Sure, can I make a wooden handle? And I've made plenty of wooden handles. For instance, here is a wooden handle I made for one of my shovels. Some of you have already seen this one. Just took a piece of cedar, pounded it in there, put a couple of old spacers that I made in there, and perfectly good hammer. And I like it because it actually has a longer handle. These are the things that you can do if you're out here. You can do it in the city. You really can. The difference is that it seems that when you're in the city, you're not willing to use your imagination. So you tend to just replace. A lot of these things are things that people threw away that I can take and use without a problem. Here's another handle I've been working on. A piece of cedar that I'm turning into a handle. But this is what I'm always in the process of doing, making my own tools, taking scrap pieces of tools that people cast away and reusing it. using it functionally. Let me show you this right here. I had an old bed frame. You see right here, here's a spring. It's kind of got some leaves in it, but I'm going to be using this as a trellis. The same way I'm using that one. I'll take all the wood off of that, and I'll use the scrap pieces of wood for smaller projects that I'm doing around here in the homestead. And the frame itself, or the metal, I'll use as a trellis. Pallets. You can never have enough pallets. When you don't have money, you gotta find a way to get things done yourself. You don't have a whole lot of money, you gotta find a way to get things done yourself. Here are a bunch of posts, including, so I get that, a very large cedar post. A lot of these are cedar posts, like that one right there, this one right here. I can use those when building. Here are some more conduit. I'm gonna use this one right here for the shovel. Cut a piece off. So don't be afraid to use your imagination, to use your mind in homesteading. I'll tell you, since I've been out here, I have had to use my mind many times. I have had to find answers for solutions, sometimes extremely fast. I'll be turning this into a handle or a post for one of my gardens. You know, even like the things like simple things. You notice every post that I have is simply really sticks or branches that I just sawed, pounded into the soil, throw some chicken wire on it. There you go. My compost bins. Those are just fence post panels. You may even be able to see it curved right here. You see how it's curved right there? It's just fence post panels that I hammered in. This whole bin of chicken manure that I composted, this side is being held together by one of those feed bags, because those feed bags are made out of really good material and they last. So that's actually what I'm using for one of the walls. And the rest you can see is just pieces of scrap wood. Here's some more scrap wood down here from one of the beds that I took apart. These things you can use if you use your imagination. I told you I used the 55-gallon barrels for everything. I was lying. You can use your imagination and get what you need to get done. And you don't always have to spend an absorbent amount of money. You don't have to always drop hundreds and thousands of dollars. Sometimes just some ingenuity, having some extremely basic tools and some know-how will get it done. You have to remember, homesteading is not always about how much money you have, but it's about the work you're willing to put in. Because, you know, our ancestors, the ancients, they didn't have all these tools. And they built flourishing homesteads, flourishing land. Their lands flourished. And they didn't have all these things that we have today. So I would suggest, if you can, start using your mind a lot more. Instead of always relying on, I have to go to the store and get something. Sometimes even the most basic things that are at the store you can use, like PVC pipe. I use PVC pipe for everything. And little things like a little Harbor Freight $100 flux core welder. It'll save you money, it'll save you time, it'll save a lot. Simply because you are using your mind. Remember, the rich man is known for his riches. The rich man, or maybe just a non-so-frugal man, threw this away. But the poor man is known for his skill. And I'm not even saying I'm skillful, because I like to talk to a lot of the people who made it through the Great Depression, because they have ideas on top of ideas on top of ideas. One of the things that I learned is that when you don't have money, or when times are bad, you'll use your imagination and you'll create things. I have a couple more videos like this where I'll be showing some of the things that I use that, you know, may have one purpose. Its purpose is this, but I've repurposed it. And if you realize, a lot of people throw away things that they call junk that you can easily repurpose for the building of your lands, your gardens, your coops, your homestead. Bless y'all. Shalom.